Yeah, Unreality known for using Pokemon like Dragonite and Virizion and an extremely hyper offensive playstyle where Cybertron's, uh, a bit more of the conservative type. He used Landorus, Thundurus, Hidden Power Cresselia, well, offensive Cresselia, I should say. Hitmontop, Ugly Scissor. Actually, it wasn't ugly at Nationals. And the sixth one escapes me, but it was standard Aaron stuff. Whereas, Unreality is that really spectacular offensive player.
Yeah, that's for sure. But again, congrats to Baz Anderson for advancing. Biosci, you played a great set. Yeah, good game. It was a good game. Both teams played hard.
All right, and right now we're in the process of setting up for that stream. So when we have everything set up, we'll be ready to commentate and show you another exciting matchup in the Nugget Bridge Invitational. We're setting up for Aaron Zhang, also known as Cybertron, versus Aaron Trailer, also known as Unreality. And right now we're just kind of fighting through Wi-Fi. The two are getting connected. Um, on the screen, you're going to be seeing Aaron, and I don't believe we have Aaron's team information. Um, and if I check my files, we have on Unreality, we have Ninetales, Executor, Terrakion, Crocodile, Honchkrow, and Infernape. So right there are four Pokemon you never see. What do you think of those, Dwee?
Honchkrow is pretty interesting. I mean, it gets that stab sucker punch, powerful flying attacks. I don't even know what its ability is.
I think it gets Super Luck as its Super Luck Insomnia. That's worth mentioning, especially with all this Breloom.
Insomnia
Uh,
is a good Pokemon, or it is a good ability to have with Breloom running around everywhere.
yeah. Um, so I don't know. To me, Honchkrow always seemed like that Pokemon that was kind of like a worse Bisharp, but with a better second stab. Since Flying Stab is amazing. Uh, what do you think it really does anything else beyond that?
Which Pokemon? Honchkrow?
Pardon the technical difficulties, folks. We are currently setting up for the next battle, and yeah, both players at Team Select, and it's gonna be really interesting to see how Aaron, who's such a veteran player, very little takes him by surprise. How
Which
he
Aaron?
matches. Right. I should specify Cybertron being such a veteran player, how he reacts to these Pokemon. I mean,
Yeah, Cybertron, he's definitely probably faced off on some more unique teams, rogue teams, I guess. I would call it a rogue team. But, but we'll just have to see how he adjusts. I mean, Cybertron actually does have experience using Executor.
that's true. I mean, he does have experience with Wolfie's team. But anyways, Cybertron just was so kind to send in his team to us. Scissor, which hopefully not puke colored, Tornadus, Hydreigon, Tyranitar, Volcarona, and Breloom. So pretty standard stuff, pretty standard offensive stuff. How do you think that matches up against Unreality's potential Sun team?
It might be an interesting battle for weather with Ninetales, but the only thing I see actually it matches up pretty well. I mean, for every one Pokemon that Cybertron has, Unreality could probably counter with one of his, and for everyone that Unreality has, Cybertron could probably counter with one of his as well.
Yeah, and that's just the sign of two well-built teams. And both trainers have selected their Pokemon, and we will be having Unreality up top with Cybertron on bottom, and he's gonna lead double fire Ryujin Jaka style. Just he's gonna have Ninetales and Infernape against Scissor, who is 4 times weak to both Pokemon, and Tornadus, who is the fastest Pokemon in the field and threatens a stab, flying jam, acrobatics. So, what do you make of this matchup?
Right off the bat, that Scissor needs to get out of there. I mean, Sun Team and against the Scissor, yeah, I don't like the odds of that. Tornadus threatens, but this first turn is probably going to be a fake out, and with Infernape, the threat of a fake out leads to a lot of double protects actually, and from there, if they double protect, that also opens them up to being encored because that's a move that Infernape gets as well.
Yeah, Encore is not a very common move, but it's one of those disturbing options that a Pokemon could have because things like Alakazam and Whimsicott become a lot better with such moves. And normally Infernape has trouble fitting on its move slots, but we'll we'll see if Unreality has found a way to fit it on. Uh,
Also, Infernape has Feint. It has access to Feint, so that could also be another move that Unreality is playing with Feint and then just overheating something to knock it out first turn. Just that nuke. It's so good.
and Cybertron, fearing the fire move, sends in a fire resist in Shiny Hydreigon, and Ninetales leaves the field. It set up the sun, so it did its job. And the excuse me, the Crocodile comes in, intimidates, and activates Defiant, which ends up with a +1 attack to Tornadus and turning it into an offensive juggernaut. And it throws up the Protect, and we'll see what Infernape's up to. Throws out a Fake Out, and it runs into the Protect. So Tornadus is the fastest member on the field, most likely barring a Choice Scarf, and it is at +1. And on top of that, Hydreigon, typically known as a Dragon type nuke. That's a lot of offense on Aaron's side, on Cybertron's side. What do you think, Dwee?
Yeah, Aaron definitely has an advantage here. I mean, Tornadus naturally outspeeds Infernape, and usually the Defiant sets run max speed. And Hydreigon, I mean, every it loves having a scarf. It's also a really good dragon. Right now, Aaron has or Cybertron has such an advantage over Unreality, and we're just gonna see where this turn goes. I mean, Acrobatics threatens Infernape, and then Draco Meteor just threatens everything on the field.
And boy, that seems really weird now because that Crocodile just left the field, and now Acrobatics is going to come out. Flying Gem boosted, +1, something is going to get hurt, and that Terrakion is the person to take the hit. And by the look of it, no Focus Sash, it goes down in one hit. And there's Encore, and you're encored into Acrobatics. I don't really see a problem with that. Uh,
I think Unreality was hoping for an Encore into Protect and maybe that Infernape put out speed, but that just does not play out well.
yeah, and that Unreality is a player that thrives on hard reads, and sometimes they don't work out. Infernape eats the Draco Meteor, but thanks to its item Focus Sash, as long as it's at full health, it can take any hit as long as it's at full health starting, and it will survive with 1 HP. So Ninetales comes into not Ninetales. Crocodile comes in to replace its fallen comrade. Another
What?
intimidate, and
What?
I don't understand anymore. What is going on, Dewey?
I'm slightly confused right now. That's a +2 Tornadus throwing out Acrobatics, and oh, what?
Well, it can't protect because it's encored. Um, yeah, it looks to me like Tornadus is about to man mode through this team. Is there another way out?
Does Crocodile learn foul play?
Yeah, let's foul play the Tornadus. Uh, Foul play, for those of you not familiar, it does get foul play, by the way. Works off your opponent's attack stats. So now that it's boosted, it could possibly get the foul play off for the kill, but that would be new technology on a level we have never seen.
Yeah, that's kind of a risky move, but high risk, high reward, I guess. Yeah.
All right, so Hoodie Allen, the Tyranitar, gets to come in and activate Sandstream, which is going to be dangerous for that Infernape. Um, oh, the Crocodile is scarfed, but with Scarf unstabbed Rock Slide, it fails to pick up the KO on Tornadus, who launches the Acrobatics, and at +2 is going to be doing so much damage, and one shots the Crocodile, who goes down, and then Infernape activates its hidden power, so that's an interesting choice. Probably hidden power ice, picks up the knockout on Tornadus, and then finally Tornadus goes down, but Unreality's gonna pay the price as Sandstorm takes away his Infernape.
You know what would have knocked out Tornadus? Foul
What?
play.
Foul play? You see, you should listen to Dewey. We have just invented a new set on stream, and you saw it here first. Alright, now we're just waiting for all these Pokemon to fill in the 3 empty slots, and we're looking at Hydreigon come in, who was chit from Life Orb damage before. And Unreality sending back in Ninetales to stand up against this fearsome team resets the Sandstorm with Sun, taking away Tyranitar's Sandstorm special defense boost. Think there's a way to beat this?
Well, usually 3-on-1s are pretty tough to beat, but
I've seen crazier, but single target Rock Slide comes very close to fainting the Ninetales, and Earth Power is going to clean it up. Decisive win for Cybertron. That was really a pretty strong display of power. How would you, as Unreality, step up against Cybertron?
well, now you know that Tornadus is defiant. That's a fact that now everybody knows, and that Tyranitar is also scarfed. So, I mean, Unreality has some pretty good information coming in this next battle. Um, the ways that he could possibly adjust, it's pretty rough. I mean, a lot. It's a pretty bad team matchup actually for Unreality. I kind of want to see what Honchko can do. Might be able to get some priority up against that Tornadus, which gave him so much trouble. Tornadus outspeeds most of the Pokemon there, and yeah,
Although, doesn't it strike you that that Honchko is going to have a hard time coming in against most of Aaron's team, Cybertron's team, I should say?
that's the problem. I mean, it's just a terrible matchup. Ninetales and just gonna get wrecked by Tyranitar and his rock moves.
That's
But
that's kind of the problem when you go double dark, double fire, you know?
yeah, the I mean, Cybertron was just manly to bring that scissor against the Sun team. I wonder if he's gonna bring it again. But that scissor is pretty important actually for countering Unreality's Executor and Terrakion and Crocodile. So yeah, tough choices by both players this upcoming game.
Yeah, keep in mind though, we haven't seen Executor's set yet. We don't know if it's Harvest like Wolfie used at Worlds, or maybe it's just a vanilla chlorophyll set. But anyways, both trainers selecting their Pokemon pretty quickly, and we're right back in it. I can tell that Unreality wants to get back in there and try to redeem himself. And he starts out pretty quick, sends out Terrakion and a Crocodile, and hopefully he doesn't lead into that Tornadus, and he did. Tornaloom, classic lead. Uh, one of the one of the most common leads in the metagame recently. What do you think of the leads here, Dewey?
The advantage definitely goes to Cybertron because I mean +1 Tornadus is just gonna wreak havoc. You know that Rock Slide's not gonna knock it out. The acrobatics can target down Terrakion, as we saw previous game, which knocked it out immediately.
Yeah, so it's a rough matchup, but we'll see how he can get out of it. Cybertron's still thinking about his moves here, and I'd imagine Unreality's gonna take just as much time, if not more. Um, Tornadus at +1, Breloom at -1. We saw last match that Terrakion wasn't sashed, So would you think about possibly protecting it or what?
Um, I don't even think, yeah, I don't think Unreality has a good switch-in for it either, so tough situation for him. That bullet seed will also do a chunk to Crocodile, so the advantage is clearly Cybertron right now. Acrobatics, Terrakion, Bullet Seed, or even Mach Punch the Crocodile. Terrakion's probably going to go down to something, but yeah, actually protecting that Terrakion would be a great move, because then that would set up a Rock Slide this turn, and then the next turn he can Rock Slide it to knock it out, and possibly get rid of that big threat of Tornadus, so definitely needs to protect that Terrakion if he wants to have a chance.
And oh my gosh, beat up. So, oh my god, here's the new technology. Here's the reason for Scarf Crocodile. Every time Terrakion gets hit by a dark type move, Justified activates and gives it +1 attack. So by the end of this, Terrakion's going to be at +3 or +4 attack. I believe it's +4. Um,
But is it
and
even going to outspeed Tornadus? That's the thing.
it probably will not, but we didn't see a Mach Punch go off. Acrobatics, Flying Gem, I believe that falls short of a KO. Is that right, Dwee?
The what?
The Flying Gem. Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
Yeah, it fell
the
short of the KO. Do you think Beat Up actually tilted that into a KO?
no. Remember he knocked it out one shot the previous
Oh
game.
yeah, because he had +1. My mistake. And Crocodile gets spored. So looks like a really pretty tough start for Unreality.
Yeah, that I mean high risk, high risk, high reward, but there was no reward there.
Yeah, but now Infernape comes in and threatens that fake out, encore, hidden power ice even, although it's got a focus sash, but Crocodile's asleep, so I imagine we won't be seeing any fake out.
Well, Crocodile is locked in the beat up anyways, and now it's only 3 hits, I believe. So that beat up, high risk, high reward, no reward though.
Yeah, there was a lot to invest into a Pokemon that fainted on that turn. It's gonna fake out the Breloom and try to buy some time for Crocodile to awake, I guess. And oh, Tailwind comes up, and now it's faster. Tailwind giving a ×2 boost compared to 1.5 times on a Choice Scarf, and now both of Cybertron's Pokemon are faster than everything else on the field. Uh, I think it's a great play by Cybertron. What do you think?
Cybertron is bodying Unreality right now. There's just no move that Unreality can make that's safe.
I just don't think there's any move Unreality can make. I'm curious to see
Yeah,
if he's even gonna move this turn, and I guess he wants to save that Crocodile for whatever reason, and sends out Ninetales, which brings in the Sun, which will increase the power of Fire type moves by 1.5 times. And Acrobatics is going to go off, hit that Tornadus at hit the Ninetales at +1, which picks up the knockout. And now Breloom can just free to launch spores, and now all his Pokemon are guaranteed to be asleep for one turn. I I think Unreality is just done.
yeah. The only attack he got off was a fake out, 20 hit points of damage, and it just looks so bleak right now. This entire turn, Cybertron's just gonna get off free attacks, and oh, what a way to go! I mean,
And make it even rougher. Intimidate
yeah,
comes back on, reactivates Defiant, although Breloom's at -2 now. But Crocodile's guaranteed to turn asleep, and so is and Tornadus is faster than Infernape, so it's most likely not going to get a move off. Ugh. This might be the hardest domination I've seen in a long time, Dwee.
this is pretty bad. I mean, oh, why is he even switching? It's pretty much over already.
I guess he wants to get rid of that Focus Sash by Sandstream.
Possibly, and then set up a knockout. Oh, doesn't even care. But
Well, at +2, he gets the knockout on Crocodile, and Sand is going to chip away at Fernape, who won't get a chance to move. And wow, Cybertron took 29 points of damage and beats Unreality 4-0 in in a 2-0 set in the Nugget Bridge Invitational.
Do we even count that last 9 hit points? Because I mean, that was his own sandstorm.
Yeah, we count it because we gotta give some mercy here. And single target rock slide, acrobatics. Oof, goodbye Infernape, and that's gonna wrap up this set.
That was a wow.
I've never seen anything like that.
That was a really rough set to watch, and yeah, I mean, I was kind of expecting a bit more, but that team matchup was just terrible.
All right. Well, let's play a little bit of revisionist history. Do you think there's anything that Unreality could have done to his team to make this matchup a little bit easier?
Well, in the second game, there was definitely an opportunity for Unreality to possibly take it. We don't know what item was on Dragon because he never did anything with it. But like, if he protected that Dragon and maybe Rockslide, he might have had a chance, but didn't do it. No chances. That game was over.